Hi there, I'm KK Hart, and I thought I'd talk to you about the importance of using your KPIs to thrive. I think of KPIs as keep profit improving, and so they're just such important aspects of your business that I think can be often overlooked because maybe they're not fun, maybe they're not the things that you feel excited about looking into on a regular basis. But if you can focus on these three KPIs, within a monthly basis, I think you'll see a tremendous return on your effort. So if I were to break down the top three KPIs that you can use, number one is absolutely your conversion of new clients. So when you think about the first time a client enters your facility, the first thing they're thinking about is whether or not it's a fit for them. And that's really how we should be approaching to every aspect of their experience. So something that's really important to think about is not just how many people come in. That's the easy metric, right? The more important metric is really thinking about how do we get the amount of people who come in to stick, to find this their home, to make this their tribe, and to really make this the community they want to be a part of. I think if we're being honest, it's a struggle right now in our industry to keep clients in amid, the shiny penny of another place around the corner, or even their lack of utilization, right? Their apathy right now. So one of the things I think about more than anything is what I call the connect rate. That is the number of first-time visitors that come in and the percentage of those that convert. When I think about conversion, I always think about membership. It is the best way for you to get the return on investment that you're looking for. But the truth of the matter is, if the client buys anything, it's a win. So anytime a first-time visitor comes in, I'm thinking, what's the best fit for them? How do we make this their home? And how do we measure this and track it? So easy ways to do that is to look at the percentage of first-time visitors that come in and what they convert to, and that percentage. Super important. The other thing I think about is, how do we increase utilization? In our industry right now, there's just such a drastic issue with clients, not just putting their card on file, not just wanting to give us money, but truly, I think, making this the place they want to come back and come often to. And so even when they come in, there's a real disconnect there. If I look at client utilization on the whole, it tells us a really unique story. You have your outliers, those are the people who are coming in all the time, they're crushing it, but they may burn out. So we have to look at them. And then there's a client who's maybe dabbling at best. They've come a few times. They're not really sure they're going to make this a long-term thing. They may even be on membership. And so when I look at client utilization, I really do look for those metrics of success. And it's the client that's using the offering that you have as optimally as possible. So that doesn't necessarily mean that every client should be on an unlimited, but it does mean that every client should be maximizing whatever it is that they're paying for. And lastly, when I think about the importance of the client and their relationship with us, the business, there's something to be said for the lifetime value of the client. So it may be attractive or even easy to think that you can sell them a quick short-term offering like a package. That simply cuts the client's lifetime value. So if I think about the lifetime value of a client over time, it should be way greater than the first thing you sell them. Let me say that again. When I think about the client's lifetime value over time, it should be greater than the first thing you sell them. That means it's no good for them to come in on an aggregator or buy your introductory offer or even buy a package if they're not going to use it, if they're not going to come back and come often. So when I think about the client that you're looking to grow with, it's the client that has the longest lifetime value. So what you want to think about is, how can you measure that? How can you think about the metrics that allow you to see the client that you can have for the long term? So we've talked about a few things. We've talked about clients coming in and coming back, right? My favorite thing is clients coming back and coming often, which is the second thing we talked about, and your utilization. And now when I think about piecing it all together, it's keeping the client long term. So if retention is our goal, but we still need new clients, how do we make sense of that mix of need? I think it's truly a mix of marketing, of internal processes that make the client feel seen and feel heard. I always think of this, no matter where you are in the world, most people walk around all day feeling unrecognized and unseen. So just imagine that personal touch, that extra level that we go to make them feel like we really noticed them, that we know they crushed it in class, or that we realize that they may be stuck. this is the hard work. This is the I need to lean into my client work, but it's also where you can maximize the client's lifetime value. Not just because you're going to sell them something else, right? Because they're going to come in, they're going to come back, they're going to come often. But it's really about this concept of like, how do we make this their home for the long term? And so that is a KPI that is worth looking deeper into in your data, in your statistics. If you look at each of these once a month, I feel like it gives you the empowerment to do what you need in your business. Frankly, you could even look at them once a quarter if you really are allergic to data, and it'll still give you some information. The way that I think of it is the more frequently we look at the data, the more proactive we can be. And the last thing you'd want to be is retroactive, right? Making decisions about the business when things have already happened. So if you can lean into your future client, if you can lean into your business, you're going to see big wins each month, each year. And I hope that for you. I'm KK Hart, and I'd love to talk to you about this soon.